نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all in another live session on Surah Al Baqarah Ramadan series. And in today's session, inshallah, we will be covering ayah number 81 up to 90, inshallah. So from ayah number 81 to 90, we will be looking at it with all the Tajweed rules, inshallah. And if you have any questions, you can ask me during the session. Inshallah, I will try to break down all the rules, and I will try to break down the terms also regarding Tajweed. So let's start our today's session. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So this is ayah 81 of Surah Al Baqarah. So we have to read up to 90, inshallah. So first is recitation, and then inshallah slowly with the spellings, and I will try to explain the rules of Tajweed, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بلى من كسب سيئة وأحطت به خطيئته فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون وإذ أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل لا تعبدون إلا الله وبالوالدين إحسانا وذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وقولوا للناس حسنا وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة ثم توليتم إلا قليلا منكم وأنتم معرضون وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم لا تسفكون دماءكم ولا تخرجون أنفسكم من دياركم ثم أقررتم وأنتم تشهدون ثم أنتم هؤلاء تقتلون أنفسكم وتخرجون فريقا منكم من ديارهم تظاهرون عليهم بالإثم والعدوان وإن يأتوكم أسارى تفادوهم وهو محرم عليكم إخراجهم أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض فما جزاء من يفعل ذلك منكم إلا خزي في الحياة الدنيا ويوم القيامة يردون إلى أشد العذاب وما الله بغافل عما تعملون أولئك الذين اشتروا الحياة الدنيا بالآخرة فلا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينصرون ولقد آتينا موسى الكتاب وكفينا من بعده بالرسل وآتينا عيسى ابن مريم البينات وأيدناه بروح القدس بروح القدس أفكلما جاءكم رسول بما لا تهوى أنفسكم استكبرتم ففريقا كذبتم وفريقا تقتلون وقالوا قلوبنا غلف بل لعنهم الله بكفرهم فقليلا ما يؤمنون ولما جاءهم كتاب من عند الله مصدق لما ولما جاءهم كتاب من عند الله مصدق لما معهم وكانوا من قبل يستفتحون على الذين كفروا فلما جاءهم ما عرفوا كفروا به فلعنة الله على الكافرين بئس ما اشتروا به أنفسهم أن يكفروا بما أنزل الله بغيا أن ينزل الله من فضله على من يشاء من عباده فباءوا بغضب على غضب وللكافرين عذاب مهين. So this was the first recitation of all the ayahs. So we have covered from ayah number 81 till 90. Now inshallah we will do ayah by ayah, word by word, and we will see all the tajweed rules in each and every single ayah inshallah. So stay with me, and inshallah by the end of this lesson, by the end of this session, you will be able to tell so many rules in even one ayah. So let's start from here. So first word is bala, then ma kasaba sayyi'atan wa ahatat bihi. So let's see what are the rules here. Ba fatha ba, lam vertical fatha la. These vertical harkat are the long vowels. Harkat sounds like A, E, I, O, U. That's why we call it like English vowel letters. So here you have fatha. This we also call small alif. So this is a vertical fatha. We read by stretching it up to one alif. Bala, bala. And this ya here is extra. Ma kasaba. After noon sakin, you see the next word is starting with the letter kaf. Kaf is from the ikhfa letters. So if this situation arises that after noon sakin or tanween, if you see any ikhfa letters, so you hide the noon sound. Okay, so we have to say ma kasaba, ma kasaba. So we don't have to do the gunna, we have to hide. Gunna is different than hiding. So when you're hiding any sound of the noon or tanween, make sure that your tongue is not touching anywhere in your mouth. Okay, so you have to read bala ma kasaba, kasaba. Kaf fataka, sin fatasa, kasa ba fataba, kasaba, kasaba. Sin ya fata say, ya kasra yi, sayyi. Hamza fata'a, sayyi'a. Ta waw tu fata taun, sayyi'atun, sayyi'atun. So let's see what's the rule here. Before this ya, you see there is a fatha. Okay, so this ya is lean here. Lean letters are such letters which we read gentle, okay, and quick also without stretching them. But here we have to emphasize because of the shadda. Okay, so you have to say sayyi in order to pronounce ya twice. Sayyi'atun, sayyi'atun, tun. Now what's the rule here? This is idgham. Idgham means to merge the sounds. Okay, so whenever you see after tanween there is a letter waw. Waw is from the Yarmalu letters, so you will do merging here. Ta waw to fatha taun, sayyi'atun, emphasize, and here you have to merge by doing nasalization. Sayyi'atun, sayyi'atun, wa ahatat. One ta is light. Bala man kasaba sayyi'atan, bala man kasaba sayyi'atan. So you can see that I'm not reading this noon clear. You have to hide this sound. Bala man kasaba sayyi'atan, sayyi'atan wa ahatat. Now hamza fata'a, ha alif fatah ha, wa aha. Alif is called Hamza when it's having any sign on top of it, or even Kasra, Fatah, Kasra, Dam, or any sign. So we called this Alif as a Hamza here. Ahatat, ahatat. And this Alif is Madda. What are the Madda letters? We have three letters of Madda: Alif, Waw, and Ya. So here Alif is Madda because there is a Fatha before it. And we read Madda letters by stretching them up to one Alif. So you have to say wa ahatat. Never ignore alif while recitation. Wa ahatat, tat. Ta is heavy, this ta is light. They belong to the same family. Okay, they are from the same family, but the difference is this ta is heavy and this dotted one is light. Okay, so this ta is from the musta'aliya letters as well, the heavy letters. Wa ahatat, wa ahatat bihi, bihi. Ba kasra bi, ha vertical kasra he. So wherever you see the vertical fatha, vertical kasra, or inverted dhamma like this, you will stretch them up to one alif. Okay, so these are your vertical harkat, long vowels. This is vertical fatha, this is vertical kasra, and this is inverted dhamma. Wa ahatat bihi khati'atuhu. Kha fatha, ta ya kasra ti, khati, hamza fata'a, khati'a, ta damatu, ha inverted damahu, khati'atuhu. So let's see what are the rules here. First of all, the letter kha and ta both belongs to musta'aliya letters, the heavy letters. So they are heavy in their pronunciation. Then after ya as a madda, because before ya sakin there is kasra, so this ya is madda. After ya madda, you see the hamza in the same word. So this will be madde muttasil, attached mad, and amount of stretching is 2.5 alif. Khati'atuhu, khati'atuhu, fa'ulaika ashabun nar, fa'ulaika ashabun nar. Fa fatha fa, hamza dama u, fa u, lam, vertical fatha la. Fa ula, hamza kasra i, ka fatha ka. Fa ulaika, fa ulaika. So the amount of stretching here on this lam is 2.5 alif. So if you see madda letters or if you see vertical harakat, we read them same. That's why here after this you have hamza and still you are applying the rule of madde, the rule of madde muttasil. Binte Hawa, you're not supposed to stretch the hamza after ya. Which hamza you're speaking about? فَأُولَئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ. I didn't get your question. In which word you're saying? Tell me again and then I will explain. بَلَى مَنْ كَسَبَ سَيِّئَةً وَأَحَاطَتْ بِهِ خطيئاته فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. So in this word hum, ha, mim, the mahum is simple, and you keep on saying that it's not correct and this and that, but tell me which word you are speaking about, because there are so many hamzas and there's so many alifs as well. So which specific word you are speaking about? If you point out, then I will break down the rule again. So let's see the ayah again and then inshallah we will do the spelling here as well. Bala man kasaba sayyi'atan wa ahatat bihi khati'atuhu فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. So here in this noon we have nasalization because noon is having shadda. So if you open this shadda you will see there is one noon sakin, and after noon sakin there is another noon. If this situation occurs that you have noon sakin and after that another noon, so this noon is from the yarmalun letters, so here will be idgham. So in general, in order to remember whenever you see the shadda sign on top of noon or meme, you will do nasalization in the sound. Ashabun nari, ashabun nari, hum fiha khalidun. Ha mim dama hum, fa ya kasra fi, ha alifata ha, fiha. So here we have ya madda and alif madda, two madda letters in one word. So you have to read by stretching up to one alif. Fiha, fiha, khalidun. Kha vertical fatha, kha lam kasra li, khali, dal wad madu and nun sakin. Khalidun. Bala. Binte Hawa, you're confusing me also and the people who are watching. So kindly write your query in a very clear form, where in first line, second line, third line, fourth line, where you are pointing out. Bala man kasaba sayyi'atan wa ahatat bihi khati'atuhu فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. So here in this word khalidun, kha is heavy because it's from the musta'aliya letters. Lam kasra li, dal waw the madu. So here this waw is madda and the last letter is noon, and we have to do waqf here, so we will make it silent, sakina. And if we do so, then we have to apply the rule of madde arid lis sakun here. Okay, khalidun. So the best is to stretch up to 3 alif. Khalidun. Next ayah is والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون. واو لام فتى لام فتى لا، ولا ذال يا كسر ذي، والذي نون فتى نا، والذين، والذين. همزة vertical فتى أ، ميم فتى ما، نون واو دما نو، آمنوا. So when you see the vertical harakat, you have to stretch it up to one alif, same like madda letters. And here you have waw madda. So when waw is madda, when there is a dhamma before it and it itself is a sakin. So here we have waw sakin. Before waw sakin there is dhamma. آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وعملوا الصالحات. واو فتى وا، عين فتى ع، وع، ميم كسرة مي، ومي، لام صاد ضمة لس. خطيئته. This thing you are saying? Okay. Because I'm reading in continuation, it can be. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay. Because I was reading in continuation, so it seems like I'm stretching extremely. Okay, so correcting. والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون. So in this ayah, واو لام فتى وال، لام فتى لا، ولا ذال يا كسر ذي، والذي نون فتى نا، والذين آمنوا. همزة vertical فتى آ، ميم فتى ما، آما، نون واو ضمة نو، آمنوا. وعملوا الصالحات. واو فتى وا، عين فتى ع. So here I've explained till here. From here on I will start. Ain is from the middle of the throat, so you have to make it from the middle of the throat. وعملوا الصالحات. Swad is heavy, okay. Amilus as well as is having shadda, so you have to emphasize on swad. Amilus solihati. Swad vertical fatha saw. Amilus saw. Lam kasrali. Amilus soli. Ha vertical fatha ha, ta kasrati. Amilus solihati. Amilus solihati. This swad is heavy and this ha is from the middle of the throat. So if we read it وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, it will replace itself with the other ha and it will be lahne jali, which can change the meaning of Quranic words. So this is وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أُولَئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ. Hamza dama u, lam vertical fatha la, ula hamza kasra e, ula e ka fatha ka. So here the stretch is 2.5 alif because of madde muttasil. Madde muttasil is when after the madda letters you see the hamza in the same word. Okay, so here we don't have madda letter, but we said the vertical harakat and madda letter are the same when it comes to reading. So if I write one alif here, it will be same. So there is small alif. After that you see hamza in the same word. You apply the madde muttasil rule and you have to stretch it up to 2.5 alif. والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب Hamza, Swad, Fatah, As. Swad is heavy. Ha, vertical Fatah, Ha. Asha, Ba, Lam, Dama, Bul. Ashabul. Jim, Noon, Fatah, Jan. Noon, Fatah, Na. Janna. Ta, Kasrati. Ashabul Jannati. Ashabul Jannati. Jannati. Hum fiha khalidun. So here noon is having gunna, meaning nasalization, so you have to hold the noon sound. try to take it into the nose and try to elongate it up to one alif. Ashabul Jannati. Ashabul Jannati. Hum fiha. Hum fiha khalidun. Ha mim dama hum. Fa ya kasra fi. Ha alifataha. Fiha. Hum fiha. So why we have stretched the word fi and then ha? Because here you have ya madda and here you have alif madda. Madda letters are such letters which we read by stretching them up to one alif. So fa, ya kasra, fi, ha, alif fatha, ha, fiha. And it should be a specific same pattern should be repeating. So here you have ya sakin. Before ya sakin you have kasra. Here you have alif. And alif is not having anything when it's madda, and you have to see there is a fatha before it. Khalidun. Kha, vertical fatha, kha, lam kasra li. Khali, dal, waw madu, and nun sakin. Khalidun. والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون. Now look at the next ayah. وإذ أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل واو fatawa, hamza, dal kasra, idh, wa idh. So here we have to pronounce dal correctly, and in order to pronounce it we have to touch the tip of our tongue with the inner edges of top two front teeth, because the moment we say wa is, it will be a mistake. Wa idh akhadna, hamza fata'a, kha, dal fata, khadh, akhadh, noon alif fata, na, akhadna. Kha is from the musta'aliya letters, so it's heavy here. And again, dhal is akhadh. If I read it akhazna, it will be a mistake. Wa idh akhadna, noon, alif, fatha, na. Here we have again alif as a madda. Wa idh akhadna mithaq, mim, ya kasra, mi, because ya is madda. Tha, alif fatha, tha, mitha. Mitha, qa fata, qa, mithaqa. So here tha is same like dhal, belongs to lithawiya letters, and it's from the tip of your tongue when it touches the inner edges of your top two front teeth. Okay, wa idh akhadna mithaqa bani Israila. Now let's see the amount of stretching here in this word bani and then Israila. Ba fata ba, noon, ya kasra ni, bani. So ya is madda here, and after that you see the hamza in the next word, so it will be madde munfasil here, and amount of stretching is 2.5 alif. So you have to say bani Israila, bani Israila. So let's read it again. وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. So again I'm reading وَإِذْ. Dhal is from the tip of the tongue. If you say وَإِذْ, it will be mistake. Okay, so this is وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بني إسرائيل بني إسرائيل. Ra is heavy as well, and the sound of hamza ya kasra e, because ya is madda, so you have to do stretching here. Let's see the next part of this ayah. لا تعبدون إلا الله. Lam, alif, fatha, la. Ta, ain fata, ta, ba dama bu, ta'abu, dal waw dama du, nun fata na, ta'abuduna, ta'abuduna. So in order to pronounce ain from the halak, try not to give it a pause, because some people when they are reading it ta like a hamza, they will give it a sudden pause, so it will be mistake. La ta'abuduna, la ta'abuduna. Ta ain fatha, ta badamabu. Ta'abu, dal badamadu, nun fatana. La ta'buduna. La ta'buduna. Illallah. Now, before the letter lam in the word Allah, you have fatha, so you will make it heavy. Illallah. Hamza, lam kasra. Il, lam, lam fatha, lal, illal. Lam, vertical fatha, la, and then ha sakin. Illallah. Illallah. And here, this alif, we are not reading this alif and this lam. So these three letters in between, we will drop. This lam is directly connected with this lam. Illallah. Wabil walidaini. Wabil walidaini. Waw fatha wa. Ba lam kasra bil. Wabil waw alif fatha wa. Wabil wa lam kasra li. Wabil wali. Dal ya fatha day nun kasra ni. Wabil walidaini. Ihsanu. Ihsanu. Ha is from the middle of the throat, and here after two fathas you see letter waw is there, so here will be idgham. Okay, after noon sakin or tanween, if you see your maloon letters, waw is one of them, so you have to do merging plus you have to do the nasalization, meaning gunna. Ihsanu. Ihsanu wa dhil qurba. Waw fatha wa. Dhal لام كسرة ذل وذل قاف راد مقر وذل قر با با vertical فتحة با وذل قربا. So from here we will read again. إحسان وذل قربا واليتامى. واو لام فتح وال يا فتح يا واليا تا vertical fatha ta mim vertical fatha ma. So here we have vertical fatha, so we will stretch them up to one alif. Wal yatama. Wal yatama. Wal masakini. Waw lam fatha wal mim fatha ma. Wal ma sin vertical fatha sa. Wal masa kaf ya kasra ki nun kasra ni. Wal masakini. Wal masakini. Sin is stretched because of vertical harka. Kaf ya kasra ki. Ya is from the madda letter, so you read it by stretching it up to one alif. Next is wal masakini wa kulu. Waw fatha wa, kaf wa damaku, lam wa damalu. So both waws here, you can see they are madda letters. Wakulu, wakulu, linnasi husna. Lam nun kasra lin, nun alifatana, linna, sin kasra si, linnasi husna. Ha sin dama hus, nun to fatha with the waw, it's connected. Okay, حسنا وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة. حسنا وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة. لا تعبدون إلا الله وبالوالدين إحسانا وذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وقولوا للناس حسنا وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة ثم توليتم إلا قليلا منكم وأنتم معرضون. Now we will see the rules in this ayah. So here, as I've explained, there is idgham. إحسانا نو وذي القربى. Zal is from the tip of the tongue. Qurba, qaf is heavy because this is from the heavy letters, and ra is heavy before ra sakin you see there is dama, so ra is heavy as well. Ba vertical fatha ba. Qurba wal yatama. Waw lam fatha wal ya fatha ya wal ya ta vertical fatha ta mim vertical fatha ma. Wal yatama wal yatama wal masakini. So we have to stretch the scene because of vertical harka, and kaf ya kasra ki because of ya as a madda. Wal masakini wakulu linnasi, qaf wa damaku lam wa damalu waqulu. So here we have stretched up to 1 alif because waw is madda in both situations. Linnasi, lam nun kasra lin, nun alifata la, linna sin kasra si, linnasi husna, ha sin dama hus, noon waw two fata no. So here again we have idgham with gunna because after the tanween of fatha you see the letter waw is here, and waw is from the yarmalun letters. So if you see the yarmalun letters after noon sakin or tanween, you have to do the gunna, especially for the waw, ya, mim and noon. If you see lam and ra, you don't do gunna, just merging. So here is merging as well as nasalization. Husna wa aqimus salata, hamza fata'a, qaf ya kasra qi wa aqi, mim swad dama mus, swad fata sa, mussa, lam vertical fatha la, ta fata ta, wa aqimus salata. Qaf is from the musta'aliya letters, meaning full mouth letters or heavy letters, and swad is from the musta'aliya letters as well. So in both situations, in the word wa aqimus salata, when you say qi and when you say sa, you have to make these letters heavy. Wa aqimus salata wa atuz zakah, wa fatawa hamza vertical fata'a, wa ata za dama tuz, wa atuz za fata za, wa atuz za, kaf vertical fata ka, and this ta marbuta will become ha because we have to do waqf here, pausing here. Wa aqimus salata wa atuz zakah thumma tawallaytum. Now when you're reading the word thumma, you see there is a shadda on mim, so you have to do ghunna in mim sound. Thumma, thumma tawallaytum, ta fata ta, waw lam fata wal, tawal lam ya fata lay, tawallay ta mim dama tum, tawallaytum, tawallaytum illa qalilam, hamza lam kasra il, lam alifata la, illa qaf fata qa, lam ya kasra li, qali, lam mim tu fatha lam, qalilam, mim nun kasra meow, qaf mim dama kum, meowkum, illa qalilam meowkum, wa antum mu'ridun, wa fata wa, hamza nun fata an, ta mim dama tum, wa antum, mim ain dama mu', ra kasra ri, mu'ri, dod, waw dama du, and nun sakin, mu'ridun. So let's see what are the rules here. In the word qalilam, qaf is heavy because it's from the musta'aliya letters, and when we say the word qalilam lam, so here we have idgham with gunna. What does it mean? Idgham means to merge the sound, so you have to merge these sounds as well as you have to do nasalization. Qaf is heavy, ya is madda, here is idgham with gunna. Qalilam minkum, minkum, and here you have to hide this noon sound because after noon sakin or tanween, if you see ikhfa letters, there are 15 letters and this kaf is one of them. If you see this situation, you have to hide noon sakin. Qalilam minkum, minkum, wa antum mu'ridun. Here again we have ikhfa, hiding, and in this situation you have to do the gunna in mim. There is a difference between ikhfa and gunna. Ikhfa is hiding the sound, gunna is your nasalization. So when you're doing ikhfa, meaning hiding the sound, try not to touch your tongue anywhere in the mouth, because the moment you touch your tongue with the upper palate, you will end up doing gunna in noon. Okay, so we need ikhfa here. So you have to say wa antum. So you can try and you can see the difference. Here tongue is tightly compressed with the upper palate when you say tum, but when you read wa, your tongue is not touching anywhere. Okay. Illa qalilam minkum wa antum mu'ridun. Mu'ridun. Ayn is from the middle of the throat as it's from the halki letters. And the word do, because waw is madda here, and after that we are making noon silent by ourselves. So here we will apply the rule of madde arid lisakun, temporary stretch, and amount can vary from 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif, and the best is to stretch it as much as you can, which is 3 alif. mu'ridun. وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم لا تسفكون دماءكم ولا تخرجون أنفسكم من دياركم ثم أقررتم وأنتم. So let's see the rules here. First let's do the spelling. واو فتوى همزة ذال كسرة إذ وإذ همزة فتاة أ وإذ أ خا ذال فتاة خذ وإذ أخذ. These ذال should not be pronounced as za. You have to suppress the sound, and in order to pronounce it correct, try touching the tip of your tongue with the inner edges of your top two front teeth. وإذ أخذنا أخذنا. خا is heavy, na alif is madda. وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم. Mim ya kasra mi, tha alif fatha tha, mi tha. Same like dhal, you have to suppress the tha sound also, otherwise you will end up saying seen. It's not mi saqakum, it's mi thaqakum, thaqakum. Okay, your tongue should be touching the inner edges of your top two front teeth. Mim ya kasra mi, tha alif fatha tha, mi tha. Qaf fatha qa, kaf mim damakum. This kaf is heavy, this kaf is light, because this is from the heavy letters. ميثاقكم لا تسفكون لا تسفكون. لام ألف لا تا سين فتى تس لا تس فا كسرة في لا تسفي كاف وضمكو نون فتنا. ميثاقكم لا تسفكون لا تسفكون. So here we have waw as a madda. Okay, because before waw sakin, if you see dama, then this waw is madda. Madda letters are the letters which we read by stretching them up to one alif. Dima'akum. Dal kasra di, mim alifata ma. Dima hamza fata'a kaf mim damakum. Dima'akum. So here this mad we will stretch up to 2.5 alif, because this is madde muttasil. So madde muttasil is when after madda you see hamza in the same word. So this is one word, and after alif as a madda you see hamza next to it. So you have to stretch 2.5 alif. Dima'akum wala tukhrijuna anfusakum min diyarikum. Waw fatawa, lam alif fatala, wala, because this alif is madda, so never ignore it. تخرجون تخرجون. Kha is from the halak, and it's from the top part of halak, as well as it's from the musta'aliya or the heavy letters. So two things are there. Kha you have to pronounce from the top of the throat, as well as you have to read it heavy. تخرجون تخرجون. And in the word juna, why I have stretched it? Because before waw sakin there is the dama, which makes this waw madda. Madda letters are the letters which we read by stretching them up to one alif. تخرجون أنفسكم. Hamza nun fata an, fa dama fu, anfu, sin fata sa, anfusa, kaf mim dama kum. This mim we are not reading, we are reading this one having shadda. أنفسكم أنفسكم. So here is ikhfa, here is gunna. Ikhfa is hiding the sound, and here we have to take the sound into the nose. أنفسكم. So when we are doing ikhfa, our tongue is not touching anywhere in the mouth, but when we are doing gunna, our tongue is tightly pressed with the upper palate. Okay, so try to see the difference between the gunna and ikhfa. And if you read the ikhfa letters, like if you do the ikhfa like gunna, then it will be mistake. You can't say anfusakum. You have to hide this sound. Anfusakum min diyarikum. Mim nun kasra min, because after nun sakin you see there is letter dal, which is from the ikhfa letters. So again we will hide this nun sound. Diyarikum, dal kasra di, ya alifata ya, diya ra kasra ri, diyari, kaf mim dama kum, diyarikum, tha mim dama thum, mim fata ma, thumma. So here you have to do the nasalization or gunna in the mim sound. أنفسكم من دياركم ثم أقررتم أقرر sorry أقررتم همزة قافة أقرار فترر أقرر. Kaf is heavy because it's from the heavy letters, and ra is heavy under condition because this ra is heavy. Ra is heavy because of having fatha on the top, and this ra is heavy because itself is sakin and there is a fatha before it. Okay, so these both ras we will read heavy. This qaf is heavy because it's from the heavy letters. ثم أقررتم وأنتم وأنتم wa fata wa, hamza, nun fata an, ta mim dama tum. After nun sakin you have ikhfa letter which is ta, so you will hide this nun sound. Wa antum tashhadun. Next word is tashhadun. Ta shin fata tash, ha fata ha, tashha, dal waw dama du, nun sakin. Tashhadun. It's best to stretch this waw up to 3 alif by applying the rule of madde arid lissakun. Okay. Thumma antum haulai taqtuluna anfusakum wa tukhrijuna fariqan minkum min diyarihim. Let's see first till this part and then remaining inshallah, because this is a longer ayah. Tha mim dama thum, mim fata ma, thumma, hamza nun fata an, ta mim dama tum, antum, thumma, antum, ha vertical fata ha, as well as this is madde muttasil, hamza dama u, lam alifata la, ha ulai. Both these mat, this one and this one, you have to stretch up to 2.5 alif. Okay, because both are madde muttasil. In both you see the hamza as the next word after the madda letters. So this is vertical harka, this is not madda letter, but they also act as a madda letter. If you open this, you have to write ha alif. So ha alif fataha, hamza is next to it. It's the same thing. So stretch 2.5 here, 2.5 here. Ha ulai taqtuluna. Taqtuluna. Qaf is heavy letter, as well as it's from the qalqala or the bouncing letters, but here we have a weak qalqala because qaf is in between the word. If the word is ending with the qalqala letters and they're sakin, then qalqala will be strong. Taqtuluna. Ta qafata taq, ta damatu, taqtu, lam waw damalu, nun fatana. Taqtuluna. Hamza nun fata an, fa damafu, anfu, sin fatasa, anfusa, kaf mim damakum, anfusakum, waw fatawa, ta khadama tukh, wa tukh ra kasrari, wa tukhri, jim waw damaju, nun fatana, wa tukhrijuna, wa tukhrijuna. Kha is heavy, okay, and it's from the upper part of the throat. Wa tukhrijuna fariqan minkum. Fa fatafa, ra ya kasrari, fari, because ya is matta. Qaf mim to fatha qam, fariqam, mim nun kasra min, qaf mim dama kum. So here so many things are at the same time. First you have to do idgham here. Idgham means merging with a gunna. Then you have to do ikhfa. Then you have to do the gunna for mim sakin. Then you have to do ikhfa again. Okay, idgham, ikhfa, gunna, ikhfa. Fariqam minkum min diyarihim. Dal kasra di, ya alifata ya, diya ra kasra ri, diyari, ha mim kasra him, diyarihim. Next is ta fatha ta, dha vertical fatha, dha, ta dha, ha fatha ha, ra wa damaru, nun fatha na, tadhaharuna, tadhaharuna, tadhaharuna. Ra is heavy because there is a dhamma on it, and dha is heavy because of having vertical fatha on top of it. Then you have the word alayhim. Ain fatha, lam ya fatha lay, alayha mim kasra him, alayhim. So in this, ya is lean. Okay, before ya sakin, if you see fatha, ya is lean, and lean are the such letters, ya lean or waw lean, we read them gentle. Him bil ithmi. So here is the gunna for meme, because after meme sakin, if you see letter ba, you will do the gunna in the meme sound. عليهم بالإثم والعدوان. عدوان عين دال دمعود واو ألف وا عدوا and nun sakin. بالإثم is tha, it's not ismi. بالإثم والعدوان وإن يأتوكم أسارى تفادوهم وهو محرم عليكم إخراجهم أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض فما جزاء من يفعل ذلك منكم. Now let's see the rules from here till here. Okay, so here you have nun sakin, and after that you see there is letter ya. Okay, so here will be idgham with gunna, wa'i ya'tukum. Whenever you see the sukun sign on top of hamza, you give it a sudden pause. Ya'tukum usara. Sin is stretched because of the vertical fatha. Ra is stretched and heavy because of the vertical fatha. Tufaduhum. We will stretch fa because of vertical fatha, do because of waw as a madda, and hum. Tufaduhum wa huwa muharramun. Ra is heavy as well as it's twice, so we will emphasize on it. Alaykum, ain fata'a, lam yaftalay. Again, ya is lean here. Ikhrajuhum, kha is heavy. Ra is heavy because of having fatha. Kha is heavy because it's from the musta'aliya letters. Afatu'minuna, tu'minuna. So here we have same rule that we can see there is a sukun sign on top of hamza. We will give it a sudden pause. Afatu'minuna biba'dil kitabi. Dod is heavy. In the word kita, we have to stretch the ta sound. وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْدٍ. وَتَكْفُرُونَ. Ra is heavy. بِبَعْدٍ. Ain from the middle of the throat, and dad is heavy as well. فَمَا جَزَاءُ. So here this mad we have to stretch it up to 2.5 alif. مَنْ يَفْعَلُ. مَنْ mim ya fatha. مَنْ ya fa fatha yaf. مَنْ يَفْعَلُ. Ain from the middle of the throat. ذَلِكَ. Zal from the tip of the tongue when it touches the inner edges of your top two front teeth. Minkum. Here is ikhfa. Minkum. إلا خزي في الحياة الدنيا. La lam kasra, illam alifata la. So lam is twice. We have to emphasize. خزي في الحياة الدنيا. Let's see the rules here. So after tanween you see letter fa. This is from the ikhfa letters. You have to do the hiding here of this sound. خزي في الحياة الدنيا. في الحياة الدنيا. Ha is from the middle of the throat. So in order to pronounce it correct, try opening your mouth wide and exhaling the air out. حياة الدنيا. حياة الدنيا. Now, here is one very unique rule, which is After Noon Sakin, you see the letter Ya. Ya is from the Yarmulun letters. Here should be Idgham, but we are not doing Idgham here. So this is unique rule for some words in Quran. So you have to read it simple. Dunya wa yawmal qiyamati yuradduna ila ashaddil adhab. Qaf is heavy, and in the word yuradduna, Ra is heavy. Ila ashaddil adhab. Here after you see this mad, there is hamza, so this is madde munfasil, amount is 2.5. And in the word adhab, b, like this is qalqala in the ba, because ba will be sakin, we have to pause here. Wamallahu, lam is heavy because before the letter lam in the word Allah you have fatha. Bighafilin, bighafilin. Ghain is heavy, and because of this ghain, alif is also heavy. So if you see the alif after musta'aliya or the heavy letters, you have to make that alif heavy as well. Wamallahu bighafilin amma, amma. You have to do gunna here. Okay. تعملون أولئك الذين اشتروا الحياة الدنيا بالآخرة فلا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينصرون. This mud here is madde muttasil, and amount of stretching it is up to 2.5 alif. Okay, and in the word kalladhi, we stretch this ya because this ya is madda. If you see ya sakin and before that there is a kasra, then this ya is madda, and you have to read it by stretching them up to one alif. Ulaika alladhi nashtara. Ra is heavy because of having fatha on the top. Wul hayat dunya. Now, here all these are interconnected. So you have to say Ulaika alladhi nashtara wud hayat dunya. Ulaika alladhi nashtara wul hayat dunya. Okay? And if you read in continuation, it will be أولئك الذين اشتروا الحياة الدنيا بالآخرة فلا يخفف. It will be like this. Now in the word حياة الدنيا, ha is from the middle of the throat and it's from the halkiya letters. Ya, the sound of ya is stretched because of vertical fatha. This waw is having no function here, so we will exclude it in reading. Ta is connected with this dal. Tad, dunya, bil aati. Ba, lam kasra bil, hamza, vertical fatha a. Bil a, kha kasra khi, bil akhi. Ra, fatha ra, bil akhira, ta kasra ti, bil akhirati fala. This sign is better to carry on reading. So we have to carry on reading without giving a pause here. حياة الدنيا بالآخرة فلا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينصرون. Now this kha is heavy because it's from the musta'aliya letters, and we have three fa here. يخفف, يخفف. Two are here because of the tashdid. You can tell the letter is twice, and there is one fa here. يخفف anhumul adhabu, adhabu. So here we have stretched the word the. Why? Because alif is madda. Wala hum yunsarun. In the word yunsarun, you see after noon sakin, this is letter swad, which is from the ikhfa letters, so you have to hide this noon sound. Swad is heavy, ra is heavy. Yunsarun. And it's better to stretch up to 3 alif by applying the rule of madde arid lissakun. You can do 1, you can do 2.5, but best is to elongate it up to 3 alif. Yunsarun. Walaqad, walaqad. Qaf is from the musta'aliya letters, is heavy. Dal is having sakun, and dal is from the qalqala letters. Qalqala means echo or reflection in the sound. So when you read such letters and if they are silent, qalqala will be visible. So here we have strong qalqala. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ وَقَفَّيْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِ بِالرُّسُلِ وَآتَيْنَا عِيسَى ابْنَ. So dal is from the qalqala letters. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا. Hamza is stretched because of vertical harka. Na alif is madda. موسى الكتاب موسى الكتاب وقفينا. So here fa is twice. We have to stress on it in order to pronounce it twice. Noon alifatana وقفينا. Qaf is heavy. Min ba'dihi. Here we have iklab. Iklab means to replace the sound of noon sakin or tanween with mim. If you see letter ba after that. بالرسل بالرسل. Ra is heavy. وآتينا عيسى ابن وآتينا عيسى ابن مريم البينات وأيدناه بروح القدس. مريم البينات وأيدناه بروح القدس. أفكلما جاءكم رسول بما لا تهوى أنفسكم استكبرتم أنفسكم استكبرتم ففريقا كذبتم وفريقا تقتلون. وقالوا قلوبنا غلف وقالوا قلوبنا غلف. Qaf is heavy in all these, and then ghain is also from the musta'aliya letters. بل لعنهم الله. Before the letter lam in the word Allah, you see there is dhamma. Okay, so you have to make it heavy. بكفرهم فقليلا ما يؤمنون. Now in this فقليلا فقليلا. Kaf is heavy, ya is madda. فقليلا. Mim is having nasalization. So here is idgham with gunna. فقليلا ما يؤمنون. يؤمنون. Whenever you see the hamza is sakin, you have to give it a sudden pause. يؤمنون. ولما. So mim is having gunna here. جاءهم كتاب من عند الله مصدق لما معهم وكانوا من قبل يستفتحون على الذين كفروا فلما جاءهم ما عرفوا كفروا به فلعنة الله على الكافرين. Here in the word min qablu, after noon sakin you see the letter kaf is there. So kaf is from the ikhfa letters, we hide the noon sound. Min qablu. Min qablu. Kaf is heavy. Ba is from the qalqala letters, or the letters which are having bouncing or reflection when you read them in their sakin state. But here you have weak qalqala, so qalqala will be not too much visible. Yastaftihuna. Ha from the middle of the throat. Ala alladhina. Ain again from the middle of the throat, because these are the halkiya letters and they are pronounced from the middle of the throat. This is ha. This is ain. Ha. Ain. Ha. Waw dhamma. Hu. Ain fatha. A. Hu. A. Yastaftihuna ala alladhina. Zal is from the tip of the tongue. Never read it ala lazina. You have to say ala ladhina. Dhina. Kafaru. Kafaru. Falamma. You have to do nasalization in the meme sound or gunna. Ja'ahum. Ja'ahumma. Ja'ahum. This is madde muttasil because after madda letter there is hamza in the same word. This is one word. Ja'a. So you have to stretch it up to 2.5 alif. جاءهم ما عرفوا ما عرفوا. Alif is madda, that's why we have stretched this sound. جاءهم ما عرفوا. Ain is from the middle of the throat. Ra is heavy because of having fatha on the top, and fa waw dhamma fu. Waw is madda. ما عرفوا كفروا به. Kafata ka, fa fata fa, kafa, ra waw dhamma ru, kafaru. Ba kasra b, and ha is having vertical kasra, so we have to stretch it. Kafaru bihi fala'natullahi. Now, before the letter lam in the word Allah, if you see there is a dhamma or fatha, so you make it heavy. That's why we have read it fala'natullah, fala'natullahi ala al-kafirin. Ain fatha, lam fatha, lal alal. Kaf is having vertical fatha, so you have to read it by stretching. Kasra fi, ra ya kasra ri, and nun sakin. Kafirin. So here I have applied the rule of madda arid lis sakun, and this rule is after the madda letters. If you have to make the last letter silent by yourself, because in order to pause here, I have to make this nun silent. I can't say kafirina, I have to say kafirin. So you have option to stretch this ya up to 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif. And the best practice in this is the more mustahab to stretch it up to 3 alif. Alal kafirin, like this. Bi'sa mashtarau bihi. Bi'sa. Bi'sa. Now, whenever you see the sukoon sign on top of hamza, you have to give it a sudden pause. Bi'sa ma. Now, this meme is connected with the sheen, so bi'sa mashtarau. Tarau. Ra waw fatha raw. Waw is lean here and ra is heavy. So lean letters are your letters which you read them gentle. Okay, without stretching, without suddenly pausing. Quickly, like bi'sa mashtarau bihi anfusahum. Ba kasra b, ha vertical kasra hi, and after that you have hamza. So here you have to apply the rule of madde munfasil, and the amount is 2.5 alif. Bihi anfusahum. Anfusahum. Hide this noon because of ikhwa. An yakfuru bima anzalallahu baghyan an yunazzalallahu min fadlihi ala man yasha'u min ibadihi faba'u bighadabin ala ghadab. So let's see the rules here. When you say the word bima anzalallahu, you have to stretch this mud up to 2.5 alif, and here you have to do hiding of this noon sound. That's why it's bima anzalallahu baghyan an yunazzalallahu min fadlihi. Again you have to do ikhfa. على من يشاء من عباده فباءوا بغضب. غين is heavy, ضاد is heavy. بغضب على غضب على غضب. Now here lam is stretched because of vertical harka, and غضب you have to do qalqala in ba sound because we are making it silent, because we have to pause here. غضب. وللكافرين وللكافرين عذاب مهين. Now in the word عذاب مهين, you see after the neen letter meme is there. This is from the Yarmalun letters, and if this situation arises you have to do the merging as well as nasalization. So you have to read it عذاب مهين. So we have started from 81 and we have read up to 90. Right now we will do the final recitation. بلى من كسب سيئة وأحطت به خطيئته فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون وإذ أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل لا تعبدون إلا الله وبالوالدين إحسانا وذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وكلوا للناس حسنا وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة ثم توليتم إلا قليلا منكم وأنتم معرضون وإذ أخذنا ميثاقكم لا تسفكون دماءكم ولا تخرجون أنفسكم من دياركم ثم أقررتم وأنتم تشهدون ثم أنتم هؤلاء تقتلون أنفسكم وتخرجون فريقا منكم من ديارهم تظاهرون عليهم بالإثم والعدوان وإن يأتوكم أسارى تفادوهم وهو محرم عليكم إخراجهم أفتؤمنون ببعض الكتاب وتكفرون ببعض فما جزاء من يفعل ذلك منكم إلا خزي في الحياة الدنيا ويوم القيامة يردون إلى أشد العذاب وما الله بغافل عما تعملون أولئك الذين اشتروا الحياة الدنيا بالآخرة فلا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينصرون ولقد آتينا موسى الكتاب وقفينا من بعده بالرسل وآتينا عيسى ابن وقفينا من بعده بالرسل وآتينا عيسى ابن مريم البينات وأيدناه بروح القدس أفكلما جاءكم رسول بما لا تهوى أنفسكم استكبرتم ففريقا كذبتم وفريقا تقتلون وقالوا قلوبنا غلف بل لعنهم الله بكفرهم فقليلا ما يؤمنون ولما جاءهم كتاب من عند الله ولما جاءهم كتاب من عند الله مصدق لما معهم وكانوا من قبل يستفتحون على الذين كفروا فلما جاءهم ما عرفوا كفروا به فلعنة الله على الكافرين بئس ما اشتروا به أنفسهم أن يكفروا بما أنزل الله بغيا أن ينزل الله من فضله على من يشاء من عباده فباءوا بغضب على غضب وللكافرين عذاب مهين. Sadaqallahul Azim. So our today's target is completed. From ayah 81 till 90 we have covered. In the next session, inshallah, we will start from ayah 91 and we will do up to ayah 100. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next one. Let's do the salawat on Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and then we will end our class. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidun Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أجرني من النار. Inshallah, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.